In the early 1960s, the city of Boston was gripped by an unprecedented wave of fear. A series of brutal murders, targeting women in their homes, left the city in a state of panic. The killer, who would later be known as the Boston Strangler, struck with a chilling precision, leaving behind a trail of terror and unanswered questions. The case became one of the most infamous in American criminal history, not only for the heinous nature of the crimes, but also for the controversial confession of Albert De Salvo, a man who claimed to be the Strangler. This is the story of the Boston Strangler, a chilling saga of murder, mystery, and the complexities of justice. The nightmare began on June 14, 1962, when 55-year-old Anna Sleezers was found dead in her apartment. She had been sexually assaulted and strangled with the belt of her own bathrobe. The killer left no signs of forced entry, suggesting he had gained her trust or caught her off guard. Over the next 2 years, 12 more women would meet a similar fate, their ages ranging from 19 to 85. The city was paralyzed with fear, as the killer seemed to strike at random, leaving no clear pattern or motive. The Boston Police Department was under immense pressure to catch the killer. Detectives worked tirelessly, interviewing thousands of suspects and following countless leads. The lack of a clear pattern made the case particularly challenging. The victims were of different ages, ethnicities, and social backgrounds, leaving investigators puzzled. The media dubbed the killer the Boston Strangler, and the name stuck, adding to the growing hysteria. In 1964, a break in the case came from an unexpected source. Albert De Salvo, a man already in custody for unrelated crimes, confessed to being the Boston Strangler. De Salvo provided detailed accounts of the murders, including information that only the killer would know. However, his confession was met with skepticism. Some investigators believed he was seeking attention, while others thought he might have been coerced. Despite the doubts, De Salvo was charged with the crimes, though he was never formally tried for the Strangler murders. The case took a strange turn when forensic evidence failed to conclusively link De Salvo to the murders. Some of the victims' families, and even law enforcement officials, began to question whether he was truly the Strangler. De Salvo's mental health was also called into question, as he had a history of erratic behavior and had confessed to other crimes that he could not have committed. The possibility of multiple killers or a copycat was raised, adding another layer of complexity to the case. The Boston Strangler case remains one of the most perplexing in criminal history. While Albert De Salvo's confession brought a sense of closure to some, many questions remain unanswered. Was he truly the killer, or was he a disturbed man seeking notoriety? The case has inspired countless books, films, and documentaries, each attempting to unravel the mystery. To this day, the true identity of the Boston Strangler remains a subject of debate and fascination. Reminder of the complexities of criminal investigations and the human desire for answers. Whether Albert De Salvo was the killer or not, the terror he unleashed on Boston in the 1960s continues to haunt the city's collective memory. As new technologies and investigative techniques emerge, there is always a possibility that the truth may one day come to light. Until then, the Boston Strangler remains an enigma, a shadowy figure who left behind a legacy of fear and uncertainty. Thank you for joining us as we explored the chilling tale of the Boston Strangler, one of the most infamous unsolved cases in American history. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Crit Stories for more true crime and historical mysteries. What are your thoughts? Do you believe Albert De Salvo was the Boston Strangler, or was the real killer never caught? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell to join us for our next deep dive into the darkest corners of history. See you next time on The Crit Stories.